Can you kind of explain how your summer went? Maybe some things you want to get done with your off-season work?
Yeah. I would say the biggest thing was cutting weight. I was a little bit heavier. I think they got me on the roster at like 210, 212. I'm now about 198, 200. So, that was a big thing to emphasize. It's running out here. It's hot. So it was pretty easy to drop the weight, but, I'm feeling a lot, faster, smoothing out of my brakes. I would say that was one of the biggest things, getting my weight down, as well as, understanding the playbook, knowing what everybody does. I think Coach Guidry does a great job of not letting the safeties know just what we do, but we understand what the fronts are doing, we understand what the linebackers are doing, so then we understand what the offense is trying to do to us, so it just makes it, a lot easier. So that's probably the two biggest things, is just nutrition, make sure my brakes are clean, and then understand the playbook.
First, we'll go back to the weight things. How does that compare to where you've been at throughout your career? Would you play out last year?
Oh, yeah, so I usually have played around in the 210, like 208 range my past 2 years. When I was younger, a little bit smaller, that's when but putting on a little bit more weight the past 2 years. I've been at that 210, 212, so it's been a while since I've been that low, but it feels great though, I feel great.
Why was it such an important thing for you to get to that, and then your confidence at that?
Right.
You've been in a different weight.
Right.
And how do you feel with it? Just something like this?
Right. I would say the biggest thing is, playing in the slot. I think playing in the slot, you got to guard small guys like Xavier Restrepo. These guys are lighter, so, I think cutting off that 10 to 12, I already could move and run with them, but just making my breaks even quicker and even more efficient, to where if I do make a mistake, I know I have the right body frame and quickness to get out of it. And as well as, how I'm feeling overall, I'm feeling great, really. I think playing the free safety position, being able to, get from hash to hash, come out of your breaks, I think that plays a big role. And, just seeing also safeties of my, size stuff in the league, they're around that 195, 200 range. It's no more the big Brian Dawkins 225. There's still those guys, those rare athletes that are that big. But for the most part, we've dropped down a bit. We're a little more rangier. We can cover a lot more. So that's just the one thing I wanted to make sure my body was, fit to be able to do everything.
And then with the defense that you were saying, with where you at learning the defense, what you kind of do over the summer,
right?
To really, feel like you have a good grasp on what he wants to do.
Right. So the coaches are gone for the most part. So I was really with a lot of the GAs. Our strength staff also knows the playbook as well, and just being with the players, being with guys like Jaden Harris, Daryl Porter, Miles Young, they already know the defense, and me just just in the film room, being a film junkie, understanding things. I would watch all the games last year, see how Cam and James would play, and how they played within the defense. They have their own style, but they make it work within the scheme. So that was probably the biggest thing, is trying to fit my way and to find a way on how I'm going to play and how I'm going to dominate in this defense.
Mish, we saw you obviously play a lot of nickel corner in the spring. Do you think you'll be playing primarily safety this season?
Yeah, so I'm playing both right now. It's just dependent on the package that I'm in. So, I will be back there playing free safety, but, also, if they need me to slide down and play nickel, I'll be going back and forth from those two spots.
Where are you most comfortable?
Either. I love either. I think nickel is a whole different vibe. I think you're more in the box, you tackle more, you got to cover, but free safety is you can see everything. You see things before it even happens, just because how far back you are, and you can, make calls. At nickel, I made calls, but I was getting calls from the free safety. So now, being at free safety, and I got to work with the boundary safety and Jaden Harris, making sure we're on the same page. So it's more of a leadership, more of a bigger role, because I got to be kind of the quarterback of the defense. So something that I love. I love both of them. They all have their pros. I don't really see cons in any of them. I love playing football. So overall, I'm loving it.
I know you mentioned the weight loss. I'm sorry, just to repeat where you were entering the offseason, where you are now.
Yeah, so I was around 210, 212. I've been playing at that weight for the past 2 years. Now down to 200 pounds, and then 198, 202 range. I just swing from that range, and body's feeling great. I haven't felt like this, in a while, and especially with the speed training and all the lifts that we do out here, and being in Miami, my body's feeling, a lot better, efficient out of my brakes more, and just feeling overall even more confident than I was before.
When you're at safety, there are 7 or 8 guys on the roster who have a chance to make a case to play alongside you starting. Well, which of the young guys has sort of caught your eye to this point?
I'll say young guys in the safety room. I would say, Zaquan Patterson. You guys know about him. He's a baller to do that. He's going to hit, but he's really smart. I think that's something that people may not know about him. He's a genius, and he's so young to be that smart, which is very impressive. Dylan Day is someone who's, kind of quiet right now, but he's a ball player. He can cover. I think he played a little bit of corner in high school, so being able to be a free safety and to cover, you know, just adds more to your game. Being able to not only be in the post and tackle, but then you can slide down and guard a tight end or a slot receiver. So I think those two young guys are the main two that, you know, I've seen grow the most. They came in January. I didn't do that, so that's really hard to skip your high school, you miss prom, you just miss those senior moments, and you know they sacrifice that moment. You know it's definitely going to pay dividends for them down the line.
And the receivers you've covered in the slot going back to the spring,
right?
Who stands out to you from that group?
I would say they are. I mean, I know Xavier Restrepo, that's the main guy. You know, he's the one I go against the most. Savvy, crafty receiver, gets in and out of his breaks clean, and you know he just understands what defense he's going to. I think that's a lot of things that receivers may not understand is like what coverages they're getting. You know, I got to be really smart with my disguises because he'll sneak out if I'm blitzing or not. He'll tell the O-line, tell the quarterback, and they'll change the whole protection. So I would say going against him, you know, it's just like two smart guys going against each other. So I would say that's probably been the biggest matchup, and it's been the biggest improvement.
Yeah, young guys that you've defended in the slot.
Yeah, so Ray Ray or Nathaniel Joseph, but we call him Ray Ray. He's baller, speed guy, get off the line. JoJo, those are probably two of the guys. Nye Carr, he can run. That's a dude that can real life run. He can go. Those are probably the three guys off the top of my head that are young guys that you know have been balling. I think Zay Horton's a little bit older, but he had an amazing camp. He's going to his third year, so he's still young, but he had an amazing spring ball. So you know we're excited to see what he does in this upcoming season.
Thanks so much, Misha.
Yes,
impressive young man.
Oh yeah, thank you.
You know, playing NFL. Stay safety from Seattle Seahawks, NFL, Detroit Lions.
I would say a mixture of, you know, having vet guys, but as well as having young guys that are all really good. I think, you know, in the spring ball, we really did a good job of getting younger guys to grow up. You know, Damari Brown, we got guys like Jadis Richard, we have vets like, you know, Daryl Porter. We're all just kind of helping those guys come in and helping those guys just really, you know, pick them up to speed. You know, they're going to be playing big games for us this year. They're not going to be on the sidelines. So, you know, just echoing that, and, you know, their confidence has gone from what it was in January to where it is now has gone through the roof, you know. So I'm excited for this fall camp. Yeah, the sky's blue. The sky's blue. Yeah, we got high expectations for sure.
What position are you going to play here, bro? Like, what position is it? Is it you going to be a deep safety in the slot? Like, we're not even recording.
Yeah, no, I'm playing both. So it's just depending on the package. So, you know, if we're in more like a base, like 12 personnel set, bigger, like going against team on the ball, be a free safety. If we play that nickel, I'll slide down a nickel. Yeah, so I'm going to move around depending on the package. So, yeah, but those are my two spots. Yeah.
Did you record yourself?
No, someone came and set it up. Yeah, I don't even know. Some guy came and set it up. Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
You play a video game?
Yeah.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
So you can look at that camera.
All right, bet.
So you played a video game, Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
You played Xbox?
Yeah.
So before the game came out, right? What did you think your overall rating would be?
I thought it'd be like a 81, 82. Like it was around the same what I guessed. I didn't think it was gonna be too high, but
what did they give you?
They gave me 81.
81?
Yeah.
What speed? What did you think you would have?
I thought I was gonna be in the 8. They gave me like a 91, 92 speed, and I was like, oh, I'll take it. Like,
really?
Yeah, I'll take the speed. Like, you know, I play fast, so you know, I appreciate it.
Anything they messed up? Like anything they just got wrong?
Yeah, they said there's something that like I'm just like one of my strengths is like zone. And it's like it is, but like I play man too. Like I should have added like one of my little upgrades was like I'm a lockdown. So that's probably the only thing. They have like give me ball hawk and they gave me some other stuff. So
they did?
All good, yeah.
So here, bro, I saw you guard Restrepo the whole spring, right?
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, talk to us about that. Did you make a decision to guard him, or was that something that the practice was just set up that way? Like?
Oh, that's just like, you know, two guys going at it. It's just two competitors going at it. You know? I see him as a top, you know, slot receiver. He sees me as a top slot corner. So we just, you know, pick each other's brains, go at it with each other all day, whether that's 1-on-1, 7-on-7, our team period. You know, he knows like he's gonna be going against me all day. So that's probably the biggest thing.
What did you get out of it?
Honestly, the biggest thing was, he's probably a really crafty receiver. I've gone against guys that aren't as crafty as he was that were in the Pac-12, and he understands the defense and he understands, what he's going against, so he can make checks himself and let Cam know when someone's blitzing, or he can, switch up his route a little bit because he's just so on the same page with Cam. So that's probably the biggest thing, how crafty he was as a receiver. That it's definitely something that improved my game a lot.
I'm finna stand right here.
Yep. Okay. All good.
You played national championship last year, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, talking about going against receivers, man, you had some dogs on your team last year. You had to go against. What were their name? Doomsday.
Yeah, Rome, Jalen McMillan, Jalen Pope.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I mean, and then you eventually went to the national championship, right?
Yeah.
Going into that game, man, I had y'all winning that game, bro. Y'all looked like y'all were destined. Motherfuckers couldn't stop y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think? What do you think? How do you think y'all lost that game? How do you think that went?
Man, that game was so long ago. I don't even, man. It felt like a blur, man. I'm just out here, in Miami enjoying it now. Just trying to get back to that moment. Get the job done. But it was just, a lot went into it. It just didn't go our way. But this year, I'll make up for it.
You make up for it this year?
Yeah.
Just get us back there, bro.
If I'm going back, I ain't losing.
You go on with it.
Yeah.
What position are you going to play here? Explain it to us, because I see you in the slot, and then you can play deep safety. Like what position actually are you playing? Like, how is it going to work out?
Right. So I switch between free safety and nickel. If they're in like a more of a passing down set. Let's say it's like 10 personnel, all receivers out there, I'll slide down and play in the slot. But then if you go like 12, 13 personnel, bigger guys, they want to run the ball, I'll play free safety. So those are the two that I'll switch up. And then sometimes it can be nickel and I stay at free safety, or sometimes it'll be base and I'll come out. So it's just all depending on the package which I'll play.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why Miami? You jumped out there, you was one of the NIL guys. I mean, was on the transfer portal that you could have went anywhere probably.
Right.
Why Miami?
I would say the biggest thing was when I first got here, and setting aside just the players, was the coaching staff. I played against Coach Cristobal a couple times. He was at Oregon, so we understood, me and my family understood what type of, coach he was, and, the type of teams that he wants to, assemble. He's not here just for fun and games. He's here to win big games, and I know this is alma mater, so I know it means even more to him. And just seeing also the guys that were coming in. Cam had already committed, I think about a week before I did. Just telling me, seeing the guys that were coming back, and meeting with Coach Guidry, that was probably the final seal deal, was finally meeting with him and going over tape and just talking about life. And I would say those are probably the main factors. And then once I got here, meeting the players, how welcoming they were all. I had no thoughts of like transferring or like after spring. I knew this was the place for me.
This was it.
Yeah.
All right, man.